Right now on the National Weather Desk, the expanding threat this morning as another severe storm is taking aim at the nation's heartland. After Ian, why these damaged boats are still here 6 months after the hurricane hit Florida.
If they don't reclaim it, it goes next door to it gets fed through the Terminator.
Baby Shark, the new program helping an endangered species survive.
They were over-harvested for their fins, for their meat.
See how photographers capture those amazing pictures of the northern lights.
We expect more of them in the coming years.
And it's baseball's opening day. Our team is in several ballparks to see how the weather could impact games.
It is a frigid cold start to our morning.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. Tens of millions of Americans need to pay close attention to the weather over the next 36 hours. A powerful system is moving into the nation's midsection tomorrow, and it could bring tornadoes, violent thunderstorms, and also damaging winds. Meteorologist Ryan Coulter is tracking the storm.
A powerful storm system is taking shape today, and it's going to have an impact on millions of Americans over the next couple of days. Today, winter weather alerts posted for parts of the Rockies. Tomorrow, our concern will shift towards severe weather threats across the mid-Mississippi Valley into the Tennessee Valley. We'll start off with some rain showers by tomorrow afternoon, and those showers turn to thunderstorms, and several strong, damaging storms are likely from Tennessee through Kentucky and then up towards the North Indiana, even as far north as Iowa. Those showers and storms, that line pushes off towards the east during the overnight hours tomorrow night into early Saturday morning with some strong wind gusts behind it. Biggest concern for severe weather comes for those areas in red. That area of orange extends across several states with widespread damaging storms likely.
The bomb cyclone in California dumped heavy rain on San Francisco over the past few days. There was even hail in some places. The rain has finally stopped in the city by the bay. And while there are some winter storm warnings in the mountains, it appears the weather will be quiet today for most of the state. But baseball stadiums will be rocking. It's opening day for Major League Baseball, another sign of spring. And according to data from Climate Central, the average baseball season is getting warmer. Between 1970 and last season, MLB cities warmed an average of 2.2 degrees during the season. The biggest increase in Toronto, where temperatures are up 5 degrees. And by the way, since baseball's traveled farther and warmer and more humid air, it also means more home runs. We have team coverage this morning to see if the weather is actually playing a role in opening day. We start in Cincinnati, and meteorologist Tara Blake.
In Cincinnati, opening day is a holiday, and it's real chilly out here now, but the weather will be getting better. Hi, I'm Local 12 News meteorologist Tara Blake. Sun's coming up for us now, and we've got a beautiful sunny day with a high in the 60s. Something here in the tri-state only happens about 28% of the time, where we actually get 60s and sunshine. A lot of times we're dealing with the extreme cold or even severe weather. Weather here in the Midwest will start to get severe on a Friday, while today it's perfect weather for the ballpark. Go Reds. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Christina Ernie here from home opening day at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox are playing the Baltimore Orioles starting at 2:10 p.m. But I can tell you from experience, it is a frigid cold start to our morning. Air temperatures are near the freezing mark, and we have 20 to 30 mile per hour northwesterly winds this morning. So it's feeling like the teens and the 20s. At least we have mainly clear skies across the ballpark and across the Boston area this morning. So by the time we get into the afternoon, we can expect 40s, still with a wind chill though. This is an earlier than usual opening game, so that's why we're seeing these cooler conditions in Boston. For the National Weather Desk, I'm Christina Ernie.
I'm John Gonzalez in Washington, all decked out this morning as the Washington Nationals get ready for their home opener here at Nats Park, their 15th year here at the stadium in Southeast Washington, D.C. In fact, this game at 1:05 against the Braves Eastern Time will be the first game to kick off the MLB season. The Braves coming in as a big contender. The Nationals, a young squad, much different than the team that won it back in 2019. But it's still exciting to have baseball back here in the nation's capital. The weather is going to be cold in the 40s, no rain, the sun's going to be out, so the game will definitely happen, even though it's a bit chilly. I'm John Gonzalez in Washington.
And we are getting a new look at new high-resolution photos showing what Silver City, Mississippi looked like before Friday's tornado and what it looks like now. Now, these images were released Wednesday by Maxar Technologies. I mean, you can clearly see right here in the photo, you can see some damaged homes when you step back and uprooted trees. Winds were measured at 170 miles an hour. The tornado was 3/4 of a mile wide. No hurricane will ever again be named Ian or Fiona. Those names have simply been retired. This happens when a storm causes significant loss of life or even catastrophic damage. Ian devastated Florida's Gulf Coast. Fiona dumped 32 inches of rain on Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. 96 names have now been retired since Carol, Edna, and Hazel became the first names to be retired in the 1950s. Now, this week marks 6 months since Ian made landfall. Insurance companies are still working their way through that damage. That includes hundreds of boats seen here still sitting on the island. As Gabe Gootling shows us, it's become a junkyard for sunken ships.
Out on the water, there's plenty of places to go and plenty of things to see. But after Hurricane Ian, there are also plenty of dangers lurking beneath the water.
Every day, more and more of those big dangers, I'm talking sunken boats and vessels, are being pulled from the water. When they are, they're brought here to a big lot on Pine Island. Some will sit, while others, well, they'll get chipped.
We've probably only fed maybe 30 through the chipper so far.
That's out of the more than 300 boats Tyler Marks and his team from R.J. Gorman Marine Construction have already salvaged.
At one point in time, everything behind me was for sale.
For sale? Some of these boats are destroyed, damaged beyond repair. Yet insurance companies send them to online auctions, doing anything they can to recoup some of their losses from Ian. These ones here today didn't catch the eye of bidders.
If they don't reclaim it, it goes next door to it gets fed through the Terminator.
Now, that's not a nickname. It's the real deal. The boats are busted up, fed through this big, mean green machine, and spit out in tiny little pieces. All of this happening right here in St. James City.
Oh, good. Gee, that's great news. I'm being a little facetious there. Some sort of a contest or something? Or
there's no contest, but rather enough space for the work and enough space to let these boats sit, sometimes for weeks, others for months.
Why they're staged here is to allow for a safe environment for adjusters or investigators with the state.
Aquariums around the world are jumping in to help endangered species. It's a new program helping to reintroduce baby zebra sharks back into the ocean. And their path to a new home in Indonesia goes right through Seattle. Kelly Koopmans explains more about the Reshark program.
And the marine protected areas in Raja Ampat have been in place for over a decade. And in 2012, the Raja Ampat or the West Papuan government put in place a shark and ray sanctuary. So when you see
That's Dr. Erin Meyer from the Seattle Aquarium. She says because of that conservation effort, this environment is primed for wildlife. Meyer, part of a team leading a global effort to boost zebra shark populations. The Reshark program is an international partnership of more than 70 organizations and 44 aquariums, including the Seattle Aquarium. The shark eggs arrived in Seattle from Las Vegas to prepare for their 50-hour trans-Pacific journey. 5, 4, 3. Once in Indonesia, they hatch. Meyer was there as the first two were released.
It's kind of overwhelming to think about. You know, in a way, it's kind of like seeing your kids go off to college, only they don't have a cell phone.
Meyer says they are thriving, a sign of more that can be done.
And to see them swim out healthy into a marine protected area in northern Raja Ampat was overwhelmingly filled me with hope. And if we can do it with this species, we can do it with others.
And coming up on the National Weather Desk, we'll hear what experts are recommending you should do this year to help with intense spring allergies. And we'll have a lesson on how you can capture these amazing photos of the Northern Lights.
Hi, everyone. I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with Look at the Northeast. We have big changes on tap for today. An Arctic cold front moved through last night. Temperatures are cooling off today. Highs today are going to struggle to get out of the 30s and low 40s, and wind chills will be colder. We'll get gusts out of the northwest over 30 miles per hour. The good news is we'll enjoy a fair amount of sunshine today. Things change on Friday again with thickening clouds by afternoon and evening. That's 2:30. We're introducing some rain and some snow. I think we'll start the weekend with some wet weather.
I'm meteorologist Jonathan Myers, and here's a look at the mid-Atlantic region. Up and down the 95 corridor starts chilly, but by about lunchtime, 40s to around 50, and still unseasonably cool for this time of year with temperatures generally low to mid-50s, maybe some near 60-degree readings well south and west. Otherwise, there will be some sunshine as fair weather high pressure becomes our main next weather maker. Not bad, although again, cool for this time of year, warmer for the end of the week. That's the scene here.
I'm meteorologist Vitas Reed. Here's a look at your southeast forecast highs for the day. Looks like we're seeing 71 in Nashville, Birmingham 76 degrees, as well as Macon. Down in Pensacola 74 degrees. As you get into Florida, we're looking at those temperatures in the mid 80s across the area. It looks like plenty of sunshine in the southeast, mainly dry conditions. Area of high pressure over the Carolinas, keeping us nice and clear through the day on Thursday. But it looks like our next weather maker is this system moving up into Arkansas. Parts of Tennessee will probably get some rain.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
The wild winter weather in California just keeps coming, and it's not only flooding roads, but destroying them in other ways. Potholes have become a major problem, and as Cedric Hood reports, is costing California residents thousands of dollars.
With rain comes an increase of potholes around town. And those potholes can wreak havoc on cars. One local tire shop is seeing a boom in business because of the weather.
If you try to go fast, it's not gonna end well.
Ray Oates, a tire technician at P Street Tires, says drivers have to be extra careful around potholes.
I've seen that hitting a pothole from the rear, you can damage like your camber arm, or you can push your arms back enough to where you might need an alignment. You could crack a rim, you could bend a rim. A lot of things could happen.
Oates says, although potholes aren't as visible until you approach one, slowing down makes a difference.
If you can, if there's no one around you, swerve around them, try to get around them. But if you can't and you have to go and hit the pothole, it's happened before, just try to take it slow.
Right now, there is no specific city program that funds vehicle repairs, but collision insurance usually covers pothole damage after you pay a deductible.
Other parts of the country are looking to spring, and baseball isn't the only sign that spring is in the air. For folks in Green Bay, spring means fishing. Hundreds of boats and thousands of anglers are taking to the water for the walleye spawning run. They're hoping for the catch of a lifetime. Eric Peterson has more.
With evidence of Winter Storm Grant covering the shoreline, boaters at the Fox Point boat launch are heading out. Stephen Hillman got here early, and aside from a short nap, he says he's been fishing ever since.
I caught 37 over 20 inches last night. So it was a good night. It was almost every cast.
The springtime spawning run on the Fox River in De Pere is underway. Anglers are allowed to keep one walleye per day, but it has to be more than 28 inches long.
It's been pretty good so far. Walleyes have really been moving in the past couple of weeks here with the current really picking up. Starting to get on some big fish too, so it's really starting to pick up.
Cody Solberg is a local fishing guide. He says he's been very busy on this stretch of the river.
I just like getting people out on the water, having fun, letting people live their dream out and have a nice fun day on the water.
But people don't have to be in a boat on the water. Just upstream at Voyager Park, anglers test their luck from the shoreline. Rick Booth is here with his grandson, Jordy. Why do you like to come down here for the walleye run?
Fun to catch. Usually catch something down here. White bass or perch. There's always something usually biting, but today we haven't had any luck yet.
Back on the water, boats seem to jockey for position. Stephen Hillman says it comes with the territory.
Yeah, everybody behaves. I think everybody knows now that it's just, they know what they're signing up for when they come here during the walleye run.
You know, spring doesn't just mean baseball and the return of fishing season. It's allergy season as well. And this morning, we have an important warning from health care providers. You may need to get started on your treatment now. Liz Bonus has more on how to find lasting relief.
Once allergies get fired up, they're hard to calm down. So it is, in general, if your allergies are generally bad, it's good to be ahead of it.
The beautiful plants, grasses, and trees beginning to bloom, family medicine specialist Dr. Scott Woods of Ohio's Tri-Health says are already bringing on
sneezing, itchy, runny eyes, maybe the roof of your mouth itching. And if it's a little bit lower in your upper respiratory tract, a little more bronchial, you can certainly have more cough.
Dr. Woods suggests you match the treatments to what's bugging you most as soon as possible. So, for example, as this video provided by the Cleveland Clinic shows, nasal steroids or nasal antihistamines can help you with nasal symptoms such as a runny nose, sneezing, or congestion. Oral or by mouth antihistamines or medications may work best if the roof of your mouth itches. And if it's coughing or breathing trouble, inhalers to get to your lungs can help you find relief. Now, if symptoms do get worse instead of better, Dr. Woods says ask for a referral to an allergist. They can test specifically for your needs and customize a treatment plan.
If you enjoy syrup with a short stack of pancakes, we have some tasty information. The season for maple syrup making is underway. Allison Spotswood spoke to a family-owned producer to find out how the winter is impacting this year's product.
It's the sweetest time of year for maple syrup producers in Wisconsin. Sap is flowing from the trees and filling up the reservoir at In the Woods Sugar Bush. The family-owned company produces more than 2,000 gallons of syrup, which comes out to about 20,000 bottles a year.
If the weather cooperates, that's great because then we can extend our season.
March is the ideal time of year for maple syrup production. The weather is perfect.
Sap guys don't like warm temperatures.
Producer Jesse says the company hit a streak of luck when making its liquid gold this year.
We got a little jump on it early this year because of the mild winter. We knew the temperatures were warm all winter, so we were prepared to start tapping in February.
Manitowoc County didn't get as much snow as much of Wisconsin, but Wagner says he actually wishes they had.
The snow helps keep the woods cool, keeps the temperature to sap cooler, and that helps us out.
Wagner says maple syrup producers are constantly navigating challenges, but the end result is worth it.
When you can take something out of Mother Nature, pure sap right from Mother Nature, and turn it into a product that's all natural, pure, we get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Last week, the Northern Lights were on display for almost the entire country to see, leaving many asking, will this happen again? And how can we get great photos of it? Nicole Long is in Traverse City, Michigan. She spoke to experts to find out when the Northern Lights could make another appearance and how you can capture some great photos.
And it was what we would classify as a G4, so a severe geomagnetic storm. The biggest one in almost 6 years. They're not unheard of, but they're rare enough to cause attention.
With multiple chances of seeing a G4 storm again this year, you won't have to travel far to capture the Northern Lights. All you need is your smartphone and a clear, dark sky. And you'll get something like this.
You definitely need to have a smartphone. Definitely need to have something that you can put into manual mode on your phone. And you're gonna focus on like shutter speed and aperture, ISO.
For the past year, Kylie has been chasing geomagnetic storms in Kalkaska.
And now she's sharing what she's learned with others looking to do the same.
I just had a lot of people showing a lot of interest and wanting to learn more about how to capture them. I've been doing photography professionally for 5 years. Just sharing those pictures with people, they got very, very interested. And they're like, wow, I don't have to travel crazy places to see these.
Like the weather, aurora forecasts are always changing.
You really want to pay attention to the strength of the storm. So in our area, KP5 or higher. That is what you want to be outside looking for. But you need to have clear skies. Make sure the moon is not illuminated over 50% because it can wash out the sky.
And if you haven't seen the northern lights yet,
we expect more of them in the coming years.
Still ahead on the National Weather Desk, we have the weather forecast for some of today's biggest opening day games. But first, let's take a look at a lavender field in bloom. Isn't that gorgeous from above?
Good Thursday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Phil Kelly. For most of us today, we're going to see lots of sunshine and pleasant conditions. 64 in Lexington, 65 in Springfield. Still pretty cold into parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota. A day we're keeping an eye on, though, is tomorrow, right along the Mississippi River. Showers, strong storms going to be possible. That rain continues to push off to the Ohio Valley. Still very mild as we get into the end of the work week with highs in the 60s.
Good Thursday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Chris Suchan. Our forecast today across the region, and we'll keep an eye out for North Texas, Oklahoma, a little bit of Arkansas, where there's a real isolated chance of a strong to severe storm later in the day. Otherwise, temperatures 60s, 70s to near 80. Some scattered showers, a little bit of drizzle at times as the flow strengthening off the Gulf. Friday will be a big day to watch for us weather-wise. The chance for some heavy thunderstorms east Oklahoma, northeast Texas, across Arkansas.
Well, hi there and a good Thursday morning to everybody. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. We've got a little bit of lingering warmth out west here. Phoenix, though, starting to cool back down, just mid-60s as we head into the afternoon. Upper 40s out of Reno and scaling back into the 50s after enjoying the 60s around Seattle and Portland. So a look at the next weather maker as we slide into the next 24 hours. Some snow showers winding through Salt Lake City's Wasatch and into the Rockies outside of Denver. And that's the scene from here.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Here are more signs that spring is settling in for the season. Cherry blossoms along the Portland, Oregon waterfront. A kayaker hitting the rapids in the Pacific Northwest when some drier and warmer days appeared. And more bear sightings, like this one sent to our Asheville station. A mama and her cubs out for a stroll and likely food.
And as we've said, it's opening day. Meteorologist Chloe Coast is here to show us where the weather could be a factor.
Hey there, I'm meteorologist Chloe Coast. Happy opening day. It's time to play ball, and we've got a whole buffet of weather across the country. For our friends in San Diego, cloudy skies and rain showers, temperatures maxing out in the upper 50s. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds in Chicago. Temperatures around 51 degrees, low 60s, and plenty of sunshine in Cincinnati. If you're watching the game in Kansas City, we will feel those breezes pick up in the afternoon. Temperatures topping out in the upper 60s. 42 degrees, we've got that cool sunshine sunshine in Boston and Washington, D.C., a high of 55 degrees with plenty of sun. Don't forget the peanuts and Cracker Jacks, and have a great day.
And we'd love to connect with you. You can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. We will be right back. And thank you so much for joining us. We talked a lot about spring today, and tomorrow we'll look at one of the dangers. Spring is tick season, and we'll have some tips on how you can protect you and your family. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great Thursday, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.